Welcome to the AI Edge for Entrepreneurs, the podcast that believes AI doesn't have to be scary, stiff, or sound like a motivational speaker who's never met you. I'm Megan Coulter, and I help smart, scrappy business owners use custom GPTs to save time, delegate better, and sound like themselves. No bro marketing, no prompt packs, just practical tools with personality. Have you ever read something that AI wrote for you and thought, technically it's not bad, but also, why does it sound vaguely like every LinkedIn post that I just automatically want to scroll past? Honestly, it's just not the energy that you want to put out into the world, right? Let's start with the obvious. A lot of AI-generated content sounds AI-generated. Not wrong exactly, but generic. A little bland, a little formulaic, a little like a blog post from 2014 that was written by a well-meaning intern. And here's why that happens. AI pulls from everywhere. It's trained on a massive amount of data. And that data has nothing to do with you. So when you ask it to write a caption or an email or a blog post, it tries its best. But it's pulling from internet mush. It does not know your voice, your rhythms, or the way you want your people to feel, which means the results are often technically fine, but emotionally flat. And here's the thing, you don't need better prompts. You need better input. And that's where so many people get stuck. They think they need a better prompt, but what they actually need is better context. I say this all the time, but it is worth repeating. AI can't sound like you if it doesn't know you. You would never hire a new assistant, give them 3 words about an assignment you want them to complete, and then expect them to write like they've been inside your head for 5 years. You would talk to them. You would teach them. You would share examples, give feedback. Same thing here. And let me just say that the first time that I used ChatGPT, it was a less than magical experience. I came in asking for help writing a blog post, and what it gave me was dry, robotic, and unbelievably fake. Like it literally told me to make up a source to back up a point. And I remember thinking, okay, this is garbage, good talk, never going to use it again. So I walked away from it for a bit. But then I kept hearing people that I respected, people I trusted, talking about how helpful it was. And I knew that I had to be missing something. So I gave it another shot. And this time I did the thing that people recommend. I gave it writing samples, stuff that I'd written for my business, emails, blog posts, all of that. And at first, it seemed like it was working. The problem was, it was matching me. But it was matching the version of me that I'd been trained to write like for years. The overly formal, school-trained, I want to get an A on this version of me. Not the real-life voice note to a friend version. So even though AI was technically doing what I asked, it still felt off. It sounded like a research paper that was trying to be helpful. It didn't sound like me. But I stuck with that version for a while because it seemed like it was working. It was writing what I would have written. But eventually I realized that this wasn't just an AI issue. It wasn't an AI issue at all. It was a me knowing my own voice issue. And that realization changed everything. And also at one point, and this does make me laugh now, but I had told ChatGPT I like to include a little humor in my writing. And it tried. It really tried. Bless its empty little imaginary chest cavity where a heart would be. What it gave me was not my kind of funny. It was like full-on dad jokes or like awkward office banter. I don't know, it was like, you know, when you read a book and one of the characters is supposed to be so hilarious, but the whole time you're reading the book, you're like, they're not funny at all. That's what it was doing. I don't remember exactly what it said, but I do remember that feeling that immediate cringe, that like full body, absolutely not. Because it wasn't just that it missed the tone, it was that it made me realize how incredibly easy it is to teach AI the wrong thing by being too vague. Add humor doesn't mean anything if it doesn't know what my kind of humor actually is. So that was another light bulb moment for me. If I wanted AI to reflect me, I had to get really specific, not just in my instructions, but in how I thought about my own voice. And what actually made the biggest difference was when I stopped training ChatGPT to mimic how I wrote. I got really clear on how I wanted my audience to feel after they read something that I put out. And that is what changed everything. Because the truth is, I don't write the same way I talk. Most of us don't. When we're in conversation, we use tone, inflection, facial expressions. We lean in, we pause, we crack a joke. It's easier for us to connect. But writing doesn't always have that. And for me, at least, it's been really hard to find my voice in writing and match it to how I show up in real life. And working with AI has really helped me bridge that gap. Because now I'm not just focused on sounding clever or clear, I'm focused on evoking a feeling. That's what voice really is. And ChatGPT helps me do that. Not by getting it perfect, but by co-creating. By giving me something to push against or shape or refine. And over time, it's feeling pretty magical. So what I actually do is that when something has been bugging me or I'm itching to throw in my 2 cents, I'll ask ChatGPT to help me write about it in my voice. Sometimes it nails it, sometimes I end up rewriting a lot of it, but it always helps me get out of my own head. And honestly, most of the time, I come in hot with gobbledygook. Like, I don't have a polished idea. I haven't figured out my take. I'm just brain dumping, like messy, stream of consciousness, totally nonlinear thoughts. I throw all the spaghetti I can find at the wall. And ChatGPT helps me make sense of it. It deciphers what I'm actually trying to say. It turns my chaos into something clear, tangible, and frankly, something that a sane person would say out loud. And that's one of the things I love most. I do not have to start with clarity. I just have to start. And together, ChatGPT and I shape it into something that actually lands. So if you're only using AI to tell you what to post or what's trending right now, you're basically just asking it, what is everybody else already saying? And guess what? That is exactly what it's going to give you. Because AI isn't coming up with totally fresh, original, from scratch ideas. It's sourcing what's already out there. So if you use it to decide what to talk about without adding your perspective, your voice, your take, you're just going to end up sounding like other people's content. So what should you do instead? Use it like a thinking partner. Bring it your half-formed ideas. Bring it your rants, your I can't stop thinking about this notes app entries. Bring it your spark and then let it help you shape it. Another really easy thing to do, ask it to interview you. This is something you can try literally right now. Open up ChatGPT and type, can you interview me about whatever topic it is that you want to talk about? I want to get really clear on what I actually think and how I talk about it in my own voice. Let it ask you questions and don't overthink your answers. Just respond like you're chatting with a friend. Let it pull the threads for you. You might be surprised what comes out and how much easier it is to write after you do that. And if you haven't grabbed it yet, this is exactly why I created the Sounds Like Me GPT. It's not about tone matching. It's not about learning how many emojis you use or whether you're pro or anti Oxford comma, but it does touch on those things. It's about helping you get clear on what actually makes your voice yours, starting with how you want your people to feel when they interact with your content. That's what this tool does. It walks you through a series of questions and prompts that help you train AI to write like you, the you who shows up in real conversations with real people in real time. You can grab it for free in the show notes. And I really hope you do, because when you experience what it feels like to co-create with AI instead of feeling like you're fighting it, everything starts to shift. Here's what I hope you take away from this episode. You don't have to sound like anyone else. Not the experts, not the bots, not the version of you that's over-polished and underwhelmed. You get to sound like you. And if that voice feels a little hard to find right now, that's okay. You're not behind and you're not doing it wrong. You're just in that part of the process where you're learning how to hear yourself again. So my hope is that this week you start playing, start riffing, start seeing ChatGPT not as something you need to impress, but as a partner that helps you figure it out as you go. That's how it gets easier. And that's how you start building a business that actually feels like it's yours. That's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.